track of the value of the cards in your hand. Each card has a cost, a suit, and an effect. If I were you, well, this card here seems like the right one for you to buy with the coin that you have, so claim it. When you buy a card, you subtract its cost from your coin total, and you get the card. Then a new card replaces that card in the tavern. You still have enough coin to buy another card, so let's do that. Now, you can't play a card you bought right away. When you buy a card, it goes into a cooldown pile here, see? You can see at a glance what card suits are in your cooldown pile. It looks like you don't have enough coin to buy any other cards, and there's nothing else you can do at the moment. When that happens, you signal that your turn is over. Any resources you have at the end of your turn will be cleared once your turn is over, except prestige, that is. Once your turn ends, you discard your cards and draw 5 new ones. You can start to plan your next turn while I take mine. That said, you should always keep an eye on what your opponent is up to on their turn. They might buy a card or take an action that will force you to revise your plans. So now, it's my turn. I'll control the table until I signal the end of my turn. See if you can figure out my strategy based on my actions. Well, the cards you drew gave you both gold and power. Power has 2 uses. The first is combat, but it also turns into prestige at the end of your turn. Remember, earning prestige is how you win. Remember when I told you that your currencies get cleared when you end your turn? Well, power doesn't carry over between turns. But when you do signal the end of your turn, any power you have left over turns into prestige. Good to know, eh? See these little fellows? They're our patrons. Each deck comes with its own patron, and they play an important role in how the deck works. See? Each patron has something they want. A price, let's call it. They also have something to offer. A reward. Pay a patron's price and you'll get their reward. You have to pay the price all at once and you usually get the reward immediately. Try paying one of these patrons. Whichever one you choose to pay will offer you a boon. Just keep in mind, you're only allowed to pay 1 patron per turn. They can get a little jealous. The patron you just paid, notice anything different about them? They favour you now. All patrons start in a neutral bent, and then show favour to whoever pays them first. Of course, you can pay a patron that favours your opponent. If you do, that patron will become neutral. Pay them again on a later turn, and then they'll favour you. And here's a tip. If you ever can get all patrons on the table to favour you, you'll win the game. Even if you have less prestige than your opponent, just one more thing to keep an eye on. All right, you need to draw new cards, but your deck is empty. Now we shuffle your cooldown pile, and that becomes your new draw pile. You might draw cards you bought last turn, as well as those you started with. Your cooldown pile is empty. That means all the cards you started with or bought during play are now in your draw pile. Right, it's my turn again. I'm going to draw some coin, use it to buy a card, and draw some power from my play deck, which will become prestige when my turn ends, just like your turn, only, more experienced. Those cards you drew can trigger a combo. See how they have extra effects if you draw another card that matches their suit? Luckily, you bought cards with the suit you need to trigger these combos. Some of the most powerful effects on cards come from combos, and a card will tell you how much of each suit you need to activate its combo effect. Great players always try to trigger combos, so keep track of those suits. We're closing in on the end. I can tell by keeping track of the prestige we've earned. For this practice match, we're keeping the total small, but in a real game, you'll need more prestige to win. Ah, a grand victory! Well, maybe a little too grand. Go talk to Master Razamad and tell him you bet.
Then it is, as in all